Okay, so it's very clear from the results, whether it's smooth FN or raw FN just now, that the answer is no, because no matter how I choose to exclude some of the scenarios, the FN curve is still above there. Even if I choose one scenario, one process unit, it still drives the FN curve to be above the acceptance line. Okay, so the answer is no. And the next question is, what is the total PLL for all population per year? Now, this is for all population. Okay, it's not broken down according to category type. Okay. So does anybody have any doubts about how to get the answer? Okay, so we launch the poll now. Okay. And the answer is 0.13. Now, I have not closed my window yet, so if you come and look at the software screen on my screen, the answer is over here. PLL 0.131844. Okay. So let's move on to question number 10. Which population category has the highest PLL per year? Okay. Unfortunately, for this question, you will have to look horizontally and not vertically. You will have to look horizontally and to find out which number is the highest number. Okay. So let's start the poll now. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. The answer is B, operators. Now, there are more categories in the PLL report. So if you are, in this question, you just have to compare the PLL figures for 3 categories. That is process control, operators, and public. So let's take a look at the software screen. It's still the same screen. I've not changed the screen. So if you first look at the process control, now this is 2.68 E minus 3. And then let's take a look at operators. The operators is 0.119114. And then if we look at public, 3 zeros, 3.9 E minus 4. So it's very clear that operators have the highest PLL. Okay. So by completing the 10 questions, we have no more quiz questions. Now, congratulations to everyone for finishing the quiz questions. Yes, we have some hiccups whereby somebody who cannot generate the results, and thus she's not able to answer the poll questions. So we will look into that.
I was able to do it for the last 3 or 4. The results did come out. It's only for the IR grid, the IR ranking grid and the IR ranking details. I just couldn't generate the table. But I could do it for the contours and the other stuff. The FN curves was okay.
Okay, noted. And thank you for notifying us. Okay, so I have a last few more slides. So let's just go through the last slides, and then we can call it a day, and you can stay on to ask questions. Okay, basically, this software has a very powerful tool, and it is called the Risk Results Wizard. Basically, the Risk Results Wizard is it allows you to choose different run rows or different combinations. It can generate the results according to the selection you have made, and then like for example, the raw FN. When generating the raw FN, you are also able to filter out which are the scenarios that you do not want to include in the FN. That allows you to establish which scenario is contributing to the FN contributing to the FN. So you are able to, by targeting those scenarios, you are able to bring the risk down to acceptable range. So the risk result wizard, it allows you to filter out scenarios, the outcome type. The outcome type meaning that is it a continuous or is it a instantaneous release? Then is it an immediate or delayed ignition? Then is it a flash fire or a jet fire or an explosion? And then you can also choose the risk ranking points and the vulnerability type. So the risk result wizard allows you to choose these few things. Okay, once you have chosen all the items you want to include in your risk results view, the selection can be given a name and saved in the program, so that next time when you want to generate the same results, okay, you can directly go to the results super tab. Let me show you that. Okay, that is here. All your result selection can be saved under this results tab. And you do not need to go, if you name it correctly, or if you can remember the name and what are the steps that you have chosen for this result selection, then you can directly click here, and then it will give you the results directly without having to choose again. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. So the created selections are all saved on the Results tab for easy and quick access. The selections can also be renamed, deleted, duplicated, or edited. More risk results can be generated and viewed from the created selections. Now, once the level of risk is known, it is important to know which release cases are contributing to that level of risk. Risk ranking points can be placed on map. For each location, specify details of contributions to risk at a point from individual release is reported in an individual risk ranking report. These risk ranking reports allow you to identify the high-risk contributions, the critical items on your site, which largely influence the risk at those specific locations. By knowing which equipment items and release scenarios pose the largest level of risk, the risk can be managed. To answer the question, what is the overall level of risk? We can look at individual risk contours and or FN curves showing societal risk results. To see which events are contributing to risk at specific locations, we can use risk ranking point results. To see which events are contributing most to the number of fatalities, we can look at societal risk ranking report. To see which population groups are the most exposed to risk, we can look at category PLL. Okay, we now come to Study Manager. So Study Manager is an application that is out of, it's not out, but it's an application that helps you to combine several Safeti studies together. Okay, so if let's say we have a very big plant and a few people has been assigned to do QRA for the big plant. So the work is divided among 5 people. So each of these 5 people created 5 models. Okay, these 5 models, okay, it's on certain process units. So let's say we have model A, B, C, D, E. So at the end, when we have completed the model for these 5 models, we use Study Manager to combine these 5 models together. Now, provided that these 5 models are using the same map and coordinates, then Study Manager will be able to combine these models together successfully. So just a very quick demonstration of Study Manager. So if you click on the magnifying glass of your Windows Start button and then just type in Study Manager, you have a Study Manager version 8.22. I'm using 8.23. Okay. Okay. Study Manager also have a very similar user interface than Safeti and FAST. Okay, except that at the very beginning, you will need to import workspace. Okay, so you need to import workspace. So by first clicking Add, the Add button, okay, then you will have this import workspace. Okay, so once the 5 colleagues have completed their 5 models and then run and with results, then they need to export their workspace. After they have exported their workspace, this is where we import the workspace. Okay. Now I do not have a case study for this, so it's just a very simple demonstration of how to use the software. And then, let's say model A has 2 run rows and model B has 4 run rows. Okay, then Study Manager is able to combine them and generate an overall race contour. In this case, because these 2 models are very far apart, one is over here, another one is over here, so you see 2 separate contours. Okay, last is help and support.
Richard, can I add?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Study Manager is pretty useful. For example, if you are awarded a very large project for a big company, and you have different teams that are working on different plants, you can work separately. You can build your models in different files. You can use Study Manager to get a combined risk contours or FN curves, which is pretty useful. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So we come to the last part, that is help. Whenever you need help urgently, you can always go to the help button and then click on show help. In every data input window, there is also a help button. When you click on the help button, it will show you the relevant information for wind speed, for particle stability. So this will bring you directly to the relevant explanation notes. Whereas for this show help, you still have to type in the subject that you are looking for. Let's say, for example, explosion. And when you click on list topics, it will list down all the explanation notes that has the keyword explosion in it. Okay, we also have the technical documentation. This technical documentation lists down all the methodologies, all the formulas, equations, and the standards that we refer to in the process of building up this FAST and Safeti software. Okay, so the technical documentation has the basis of the basic fundamentals theory of the discharge, dispersion, risk calculation, everything. All of the technical documentation are protected by a password. The password is Palace House with P uppercase and H uppercase. So whenever you are in doubt or you would like to find out what is the basic theory of discharge or dispersion calculations, you can open one of these technical documents and read up. It also has the verification and validation information, because we have done verification and validation for each of the calculations. Sorry, I should say for each of the calculation stage, meaning that the discharge, the dispersion, and then the effects, the jet fire, pool fire, the risk. So all this has been validated. What we have not done is validate this CO2 release for wind speed 2 meter per second, then 2.1 meter per second, then 2.2 meter per second, 2.3 meter per second. We have not done that. We have done, let's say, CO2 release for 2 meter per second. And is the results verified for CO2 for 5 meter per second? Then you will be able to find out the conditions and the condition which we verify and validate our calculations. Okay, lastly, we have made a lot of videos for your benefit. You can access these videos in this given HTML link. The videos show you how to do certain things. Okay, here we see that how to use Safeti to get a breakdown of risk into population categories. Okay, how to export fast and Safeti results to Google Earth. How to export fast and Safeti results to Google Earth Part 2. And you can download our latest software from the customer portal, and the link is www.dmvgl.com/cp. And you can also access our customer portal from this help tab here. There is a customer portal here. And whenever we launch our software, we will ask you to go to our customer portal and to download the latest software. You will need your username and password to access the customer portal. If you do not yet have a username and password, you will need to send us an email so that we can create a username and password for you. Okay, for customers with existing SLA, that means a maintenance agreement with us, you are entitled to global technical support. So basically, you send an email with your questions to software.support@dmvgl.com, and our technical support engineers who are located in Houston, London, Dubai, Kuala Lumpur, and Shanghai will answer your questions. Okay, I am located in Singapore because given my ability to work remotely, I'm also part of the technical support team, and I can support you from Singapore. Okay, lastly, we come to the review of the day. We look at the overview of the Safeti. We learn about what are the data input required for Safeti to make Safeti model works, to make Safeti model run. We learn about the study structure, the different run rows, how to set the different conditions for one run row to run the model. And then we learn about the risk theory. We have taken a look at the risk results, particularly the individual risk and the societal risk results. And lastly, I have also introduced you to the help and support. So if you have any questions, please drop us email. And it will take us some time to reply to your email because we receive questions from all over the world. But we do our best to answer your questions. Okay, more information for online trainings. There are more online trainings coming. On the 19th of August, there's a fast for dispersion. This is fast. And then 2nd of September, fast for fire and explosion. And then 22nd October, Safeti for pipeline. Then for face-to-face trainings, unfortunately, given the COVID-19 pandemic situation, we are not able to do face-to-face trainings for now. But we used to do a lot of classroom trainings all over the world. Yeah, and we also have the SA00 Fast Getting Started e-learning. Now, this e-learning consists of videos. Okay, for you to get started with fast. So it's a very basic, simple function of fast. If you are interested, so you can click on this link to find out when is the next available e-learning session. Okay, if you need a software license, please drop our sales manager an email. Okay, so yeah, thank you all. I've managed to finish all the presentation slides. Okay, but I'm going to stay here until 5 o'clock for you to ask questions. If you are in a hurry to leave, you are free to go now. Yeah, I'm just sorry to hold you back because I overran by 37 minutes. We are supposed to end at 4 o'clock, but I thank you for all your cooperation to stay back and to and that we can finish this training.
Thank you, Richard. Richard, I had just had a question because we have the license valid for a few more days. Will you be sharing your PowerPoint slides at least? Because for those of us who are new to the QRA concept, we may need to refer to your slides to remember the terminology and to practice with the e-tutorial.
I would love to, but unfortunately, because these training slides are copyrighted, so we do have strict instructions from the management that we are not allowed to circulate the training materials.
Oh,
so sorry for that. Yeah.
Richard, I think there is a misunderstanding. So actually, we share the PDF version. We already
share the PDF version.
Yeah, we already shared. Yeah. We already shared. It's if you go correct. Yeah, if you go to your control panel of GoToWebinar, you will see handouts. You can actually see this PDF version is there.
Okay, so there are handouts.
Yeah, I also sent they to all of you. If you check your email, it should be there.
Okay, so we can just download it from there and practice, right?
Yeah, you can.
We have the.
Yes, so you will be able to use the software for 1 more week to practice what you learned today.
Yeah, that's very useful.
Another thing, if you go to Help tab, there is a tutorial. You can also follow the tutorial, but of course, what you learned today is much more than tutorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd, just to clarify my understanding, all these participants today have a valid SLA with us?
I don't think so. No, not everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Not everybody. Okay. Yeah, but okay. I'm sorry that I'm mistaken with because I always have the we always have the instructions from the management that the presentation slides that we make for various presentation occasion are not to be circulated unless approved by sales manager. So in this case, yeah, Todd has given the permission to share the handouts, so that so you have got the handouts. Yeah.
Yeah, we are happy to share the training materials. Yeah.
Todd and Richard, I have one question. This Safeti, what we have discussed is for specific to onshore. For offshore, the same software will be used, or a different module need to be used?
Okay, for offshore, it's better for you to use Safeti Offshore because we have another software known as the Safeti Offshore. So Safeti Offshore allows you to build 3D model of the offshore structure. So it's better to use that because for Safeti Onshore, as you can see from the results, it's at this point of time, it's 2D. That means it's a top view. That means you look at the results from the top. Now we are also developing the 3D function for this Safeti Onshore. But as of now, Safeti remains as a tool for onshore. Now, it's possible to use Safeti for offshore purposes, but you will have to sort of justify your results. Like for offshore, do we really want to see the contours? Because for offshore, we talk more about IRPA, not really risk contours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My next question is, can I proceed?
Yeah, sure.
I have just sent a Safeti Offshore link demo. It's a 10-minute demo to Safeti Offshore to the chat box. If you check the link, you will be able to see what Safeti Offshore can do for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd. And my second question is, for an example, in-plant piping. For an example, I have a tank farm. From the tank farm, I am pumping one flammable fluid to my process unit. This is not the pipeline. This is the in-plant piping. So to do the risk modeling for that case, where can I place my release scenario? Because this is around some maybe some 20 meter to 50 meter piping.
Yeah, just to answer your question, the release point can be anywhere because it can be on the tank. It can also be on the pipe itself. So it can be any point. As long as it is containing hazardous material, it has the possibility to leak. So you will have to use a scenario to represent the leak location, either leak at the tank or leak at the piping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Todd and Richard, my request is since I have access to software for another some 4 to 5 days, I will go through it. If I come across any specific questions, can I drop a mail to you people? Is it possible to clarify?
Yes, please. You're welcome to contact us.
You're welcome to send question to us.
Thanks a lot, Richard and Todd. I am leaving now. I have some other works to follow on. So we will meet again for the next training course. Thanks a lot. Thanks for it.
Yeah, thank you so much for staying back. I'm sorry to hold you back. I'm sorry.
No
Richard and Todd, I'll be exiting the webinar as well. Thanks for the training.
Thanks, Anu. Thanks. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks to you both. Definitely very valuable to get a bit of background in the program. I'm gonna sign off now. I don't have any questions. If I do, I'll send them through on an email separately.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Richard and Todd. So since I'm already 5:44 here in Japan, so I'm going to log off now. Thank you for the training.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's very late for you. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Sorry for holding you back.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the training. It was really useful. Thank you. Bye.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Sorry, I just had a couple of questions before I left. I just wanted to confirm my understanding for the combination factor. So, for example, when we had the run rows, we had 2 for flammable, which is for day and night. I just wanted to ask, what was the significance of assigning the values, the 0.4 and 0.6?
Yeah. So because the 2 run rows, they are running the same models repeatedly. So, okay, the flammable day, they run it is running the models. Okay, the models that you select for that run row. Okay, it runs the model once. Then the next run row, flammable night, is running the model again. So at the end, the risk results, when you combine them, it's double counting. So we assign a factor of, it's double counting because the 2 run rows are running the same model repeatedly. So at the end, when you combine the results, it's double counting. So we assign a factor such that the risk results are multiplied with 0.4, 0.6. Because in this example, we are assuming that the nighttime is longer than daytime. In certain countries, during winter, the nighttime is longer than daytime. So it has a distribution factor of 0.4 and 0.6 for day and night respectively. And then, so in normal cases, we would assign 0.5 and 0.5.
I see. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. All right. Second question that I asked, and this might be a bit more specific. So there's a function in Safeti which we could specify the building height. Am I right to understand that, for example, if you have 2 buildings, building A and building B, right next to each other, with both buildings around the same height, let's say they're both 5 meters tall. If we have a dispersion from building A and the wind direction pushes it to building B, will building B actually impinge on that dispersion, therefore affecting its actual gas cloud size? Is that how building height works?
Not really. Okay, the building height is not intended for that function, but it can work along that way. Okay, let me clarify on the intention of having the building height. We have the building height for 3D explosion purpose. That is because when we need to calculate the volume of the building. Then when we are calculating the ingress of the flammable gas cloud or toxic gas cloud into the building, we consider the air change per hour of the building with the outside, so that if the release is inside the building, so would there be any release out of the building and continue to disperse downwind? Okay. So the air change per hour will make use of the volume of the building, and the volume of the building is also calculated from the area of the building multiplied by the height. So that is why we have the height of the building. Yeah. Then second thing is regarding your question of when I have a release inside a building, and then would it impinge or would it ingress into the next building? That actually has to be calculated, has to be analyzed, and then has to be interpreted from the results. And I have not really done this before, but I believe that the software can achieve it.
Okay. So impingement would technically, we would have to make kind of like make sense of the results to see whether or not it actually impinges. So the building height really is more used in indoor dispersion purposes. Yeah.
Yes, but when we talk about impinge, we normally refer to flame impingement, meaning that the jet fire, or the pool fire is the flame impinging on an equipment or the building. In terms of dispersion, so what you have is indoor dispersion, and then first it has to get out of the building. Then after it gets out of the building, what is the dilution? How much it gets diluted, how much concentration of the gas is left, and then would it be going to the direction of the next building? And then is the next building a confined building, meaning that means if the next building is positively pressurized, it also has an air change per hour. So would the gas ingress into that building?
Okay. Yep. No worries. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Last question.
No problem. You can ask questions.
I know Safeti uses congestion area as an input. Does FAST use congestion area? Just that.
Yeah. FAST and FAST 3D is able to calculate congestion. Is able to calculate explosion due to congestion for you.
Yeah, it's the same.
In FAST as well. So sorry.
In FAST as well.
Yeah, it's the same.
I see.
You can also define a congested region in FAST, but FAST is a consequence tool, so it can only generate the effect contours. Sorry, the effect contours.
Calculations. The overpressure, the distance to overpressure.
Yeah. So would congestion area actually have a role in overpressures in FAST specifically? Because I know it works in Safeti. So since FAST only deals with consequences, will it actually have a effect on the results?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Because the congestion, the volume of the congestion, not just the congestion area, but the volume of the congestion would directly affect the overpressure, the magnitude of the overpressure. So in FAST, it's also the
magnitude. Okay.
Yeah, actually, in FAST, if you define congested area, you will be able to see the effect contours for example, for overpressure, which will take into account the congestion which you defined.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in our Fast for Fire and Explosion training on the 2nd of September, we are going to cover this as well. Yeah.
Okay. Easy. No worries. Okay. Yep. That's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. And for your expertise. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Akmal.
Thank you very much, and sorry for holding you back. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries at all. Thank you. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hi, Richard and Todd. I got a question here.
Hi, Liang Hong. How are you?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah,
Please
I
go
am
ahead.
fine. Yeah. So I understand under the global parameter tab, there's an event tree parameter, and then
Yes.
under the individual scenario created risk part, there is also some ignition probabilities.
Yes.
So if I already, let's say I selected UCOA and CLA ignition probability under the risk tab, how does it interact with the parameters, the event tree parameters in the global tab? Will it override or?
Yes, it will override. So in the immediate ignition probability, there's a selection for use event tree. If you really use event, if you choose that use event tree, then it will follow the event tree parameters. Okay. If you use CLA or UCOA, so what it will do is that it will replace the immediate ignition probability and delay ignition, or depends on what you choose for delay ignition. Okay. So if you use CLA and UCOA for both immediate ignition and delay ignition, so the event tree, the immediate ignition and delay ignition branch will be replaced by the probability that you that is calculated by CLA or UKOA.
Okay.
So that is the function of it.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Thank you.